Hi guys. So I know I haven't made a video in literally years, okay? But it's time, girl. It's time. Time for a life update, okay? I mean, life update. I am now 29 years old. I believe the last time I made a video, I was around 18. So let's get right into it, okay? Well, I've had a lot happen. I used to live in Superior. I moved to Duluth when I was about 22 in I think it was like February of 2018 and I moved into a building that's for low income and disabled people and um on Central Entrance and Arlington Avenue. It is now owned by different people, but I do believe it's still 3070 housing. Um, I still have a lot of friends from there. I lived there for 3 years, and my mental health really went downhill, and I still wasn't diagnosed with the right thing. And so I did what I had to do for myself and my dog and get into a group home. So I lived in a group home from 2020 from June 2020 until August 15th 19 June 2020 till August 15th 2023. So I moved out last August. Girl, this video is going to be terrible. Okay? But that's okay. Anyways, so I finally, at the very end of my living there, I got diagnosed with what I have now and is the right diagnosis. And for 6 years, I've been seeing the same therapist. So when I moved to Duluth, I began seeing the current therapist that I see now. So I began seeing my therapist in about October of 2018, and I've been seeing her ever since. And it's pretty um insane the amount of like misdiagnoses I've had, the amount of hospital visits I've had, um how crazy my life has been. But ever since I got diagnosed and started doing therapy with my current therapist for the diagnosis I have now, um, I was able to get off, I mean, sedative meds. I was on Zyprexa, 15 milligrams, 3 times a day, on top of getting Invega once every 3 weeks. You're supposed to get Invega once every 4 weeks, and I was getting it once every 3 weeks. And on top of taking Zyprexa, 15 milligrams, 3 times a day. At the same time, I was so sedated. And I was also taking hydroxyzine. And that's another med that makes you very drowsy. Girl, it was horrible. It was horrible, and nothing was working. I was still paranoid. I was still having all the symptoms. It was getting worse while I was on these meds, and it just was bad. And so finally, my therapist realized, because I've been with her for so long, that I didn't have schizoaffective disorder. I didn't have bipolar. I didn't have any of those diagnoses that they thought I had for the last, since I was a kid. Everything was wrong. And she diagnosed me with PTSD, with dissociative disorder. And girl, I am telling you, that is what I have. I'm doing internal family systems and transforming the living legacy of trauma therapy by Dr. Janina Fisher, and my therapist is um, coaching me through that therapy, and I've only been doing it since March of 2023, and it has changed my life. I'm only on Lexapro now, just Lexapro at 10 milligrams. And I was on so many meds. I mean, they had me on Invega, they had me on Zyprexa, they had me on hydroxyzine. Before that, they had me try a whole bunch of bipolar meds. I was on lithium at one point. I was on so many different meds, and none of them worked. And the therapy that I was doing, DBT, girl, that does not work. It gives you skills, yeah, okay, but it doesn't cure nothing. It doesn't do nothing. All it does is distract you. It doesn't get to the problem. It doesn't fix anything. So I'm so grateful for my therapist and getting me finally diagnosed with what I have. And um it's great. Like, it's life changing. I literally feel alive now and like able to function because I am working through my trauma, and like I'm not as paranoid as I was. I'm still paranoid, yeah, but like I'm not as dysfunctional. And yeah. So that is how my life has been since high school. So I was in and out of school all the time. I went to school off and on since 2013 when I graduated high school. I was actually a college student before I was done graduating. A week before I finished high school, I was a student at WITC, what is now Northwoods. Um, I've been off and on doing school. It's I was unemployed for years. I mean, I've worked off and on for 10 years since I was 18, but I haven't been employed the whole time because of my mental health, because I was in the hospital for literally a long time. Like, I think I went to the hospital in a 2 year period, like, what was it? Like 12 times. And every time it would be for at least 72 hours. I mean, I remember being in the hospital for 10 days at one point. It was ridiculous. All because of my mental health. And I couldn't hold a job. I still technically can't hold a job. I've only had my job at Starbucks for 4 months. And before then, the longest job I had was working at UMD in the Dining Services Center. And I was working there for a year and a half, and that's it. That's the longest job I've ever had. The second longest job I ever had was at Holiday for exactly 1 year to the day. I was a cashier. That's it. Those are my longest employment. It's terrible. I'm 29 years old. Most people have like what? At least 2 years experience at the same business, but I don't. All because of my mental health. And it's hard. It's really hard. But now that I'm actually getting the help I need, the proper help I need, I feel so much better. And I know that I can achieve great things because I'm putting effort in. Um, yeah. I've had like a total of like 12 to 14 jobs. And like I said, the longest one was a year and a half. My second longest one was a year. Um, I did just leave a job that I was at for a while. I was at Mount Royal Market, and I quit there because it was too toxic. So some might say because of my mental health, but no, it literally was like so toxic. Um, and I had to do what was right for me, so I left. And I've been working at Starbucks now since October 24th, 2023. I plan on staying there for a long time. Um, I am transferring down to Roseville. I'm moving to Roseville from Duluth because I'm going to lose my housing because I lost my job at Mount Royal while I quit. And I can't afford where I'm living right now. I'm not in any housing. I I live on my own, and my rent is about $13.50 a month for a one bedroom with me and my dog. And it's not affordable. I can't do it. And the reality is, I'm going to lose my housing. But God has a plan for me. And I already have all of my sources figured out. I've done the research. I'm moving down to Roseville. It's going to be fine. Everybody in my family is telling me that I shouldn't do it because my parents live up here. And St. Louis and Douglas County are the only counties I've ever known. And it's so frustrating for the people that are supposed to support me to say that, because everyone else in the family, every single other person in the family went away for college at 18. And I'm 29. And I'm just now wanting to go and get a job at a better place with more opportunities that I qualify for. Like, and everybody's like, well, you only know St. Louis and Douglas County. Your parents are there, so stay there. What do you want me to do? Be homeless? Become a drug addict and a drunk like every other person in St. Louis County and Douglas County? Because that's what will happen if I stay here. Because the reality is, the housing list is way too long. Like, I would be on a waiting list for anywhere from 6 to 18 months. So what am I going to do for 6 to 18 months? Live on the streets? No. I'm leaving. I already have housing down there. This is what God wants for me. He's providing me. I'm transferring to the Starbucks down there. So it's not like I'm going to be without a job. I'm going to have my arms worker, my DSP professionals. I'm still going to see my therapist. I'm going to transfer my psychiatry appointments. I'm going to get providers down there for my weight loss and for my dermatology. Like, I will be fine. I will be fine. I don't need to stay up here. So forget everyone that wants to tell me that I can't do it. Everybody else has made mistakes. It's time for me to grow up and do what I need to do. And no one is going to stop me. Sorry, that was a big rant, okay? Big rant. Okay? I'm just mad. My whole family is just telling me that I shouldn't do what I need to do, and that I'm being unwise and I'm being impulsive. I'm not being impulsive. I've done the research. This is the only option I have. And it's the best option. It's not like I'm moving to LA. I'm going to be 2 hours away. 2. Not 10 different bus rides away. Like, it's not even that bad. So, I don't want to keep talking right now because I'm just talking in circles and I'm just getting more angry as I talk. But if you wanted to know what was going on in my life, yeah, that's what's going on. Thanks for watching.